Now in its 9th season, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 192, the 2025 Kansas City Open Invitational. 5 players have qualified for the TV finals, but only one can walk away as the Division I champion. Let's meet the 5 finalists. Qualifying 5th is Jesse Holtkamp of Junction City, Kansas. He'll meet the number 4 qualifier, Tanner Haig of Olathe, Kansas. The winner of that opening match will face the 3 seed, Eli Nathan of Leawood, Kansas. That winner will advance to challenge the 2 seed, Caden White of Lee Summit, Missouri. And that winner will bowl for the title against our tournament leader, Rhett Ryman of Kansas City, Kansas, looking to win for the first time this season on Prodigy. One of these 5 young athletes will claim the Division I championship at the KCO Invitational today and will sign the coveted trophy pin on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Welcome to Olathe Lanes East in Olathe, Kansas, our host venue for the final KCO event of the season, the Kansas City Open Invitational. Congratulations are in order. Just as we've been touting the fact that this is Prodigy's 9th season, that pales in comparison to the longevity of the Kansas City Open, as they are wrapping up their 30th season, putting on youth scholarship tournaments for the kids in the Kansas City area and any other junior bowlers who might wish to bowl with us. Today, we bring you the Division I championship round at the KCO Invitational. On our next edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, we'll bring you the Division II stepladder from this same event. But the reason we lead with Division I this month is so you can see the final event before submitting your vote for PBAA, that's Prodigy Bowlers Across America, Player of the Year. Following today's show, you'll have seen how all our contenders for the honor finish out the season before you cast your ballot. More about that later in the broadcast. Like in all KCO singles events, players bowled 6 games of qualifying. And here's how the qualifying round shook out in Division I. Of course, you've already seen who made the top 5 to get to the stepladder finals. By now, I would think almost all of these names would be familiar to Prodigy viewers across the country, as all but a few of these kids have made the show multiple times. You see Aiden Mercer and Caleb Conroe, who just missed the stepladder. Micah Page, who will be at the Prodigy TOC, so you might see him make the show there. Eli Clinklin, who's had a good season. Tyler Haig, who won a couple of months ago. Colton Swift, who was just on the show last month. Landon Ziegenhurt, who won in March. Damian Burns, who bowled a 300 on his 16th birthday earlier this season. Caden Darling, who made a strong showing at last year's Prodigy TOC, but is on the outside looking in this year. Dylan Pollard didn't have the day he'd hoped for today. And you see the rest of the field at today's KCO Invitational in Division I. But right now, it's time to get this party started. In our opening match, it's the number 5 qualifier, Jesse Holtkamp, a winner in November, facing Tanner Haig of Olathe, Kansas. You may recall Tanner appeared on the 2024 Prodigy TOC when Nolan Nash fired a 300 against him in the stepladder finals to end his bid. I think Tanner would just be happy if he got through this today without someone throwing another big game at him like that. Although he's certainly capable of throwing them right back in somebody's face. Tanner with a strong pocket hit to start, but the 5-pin swishes in front of the 7. He covers it easily. And now we get our first look at Jesse Holtkamp. Now I gotta say, if Tanner Haig is hoping to face a player that won't put up any big numbers against him. Jesse Holtkamp might not be the first player I'd think of he'd want to bowl against. This guy can really light it up. With shots like that, Jesse has a 300 to his credit and a high series of 804. Anytime you can shoot 8, that's some bowling. Swings that out to about 5, and it comes roaring back. Now, unlike most of the KCOs we bowl, in fact, all of them, here at the KCO Invitational, the folks at Olathe Lanes East do oil the lanes again before the stepladder. So they're bowling on fresh oil. So I actually won't be surprised if we see some big numbers. Jesse leaves the 9 pin. He will move a little left of center and goes with his spare ball, makes short work of it. Tanner Haig, who bowls league here at Olathe Lanes East, so he knows every board in the house. And there's a strike to match Jesse Holtkamp shot for shot in the first couple of frames. Take another look at it. Real solid game. I gave him and his brother a lesson a little while back, and they've been bowling pretty well ever since. I do not take credit for that. They were pretty good before I ever got a hold of them. Pulled that one. Goes Brooklyn. Leaves the 6. Could have been worse. Tanner is 17 years old. His opponent, Jesse Holtkamp, 18. And there's a spare. Now, Jesse lives in Junction City, which is, I don't know, 100 miles or so west of the Kansas City area. He goes through the nose and leaves the 6 pin. This kid started bowling when he was 2. And his first league he joined when he was 4. So I think he's been all about bowling all along. But this is the last we'll see of him at a KCO unless he comes back to bowl as an adult in the adult youth doubles tournament at some time in the future, because he is aging out. Although we will see him at the Prodigy TOC in 3 weeks. He is eligible because he won in November in Lawrence. Over about the 3rd arrow, swings it out to about 4. Down they go. Just like you draw it up. Tanner rips the 5 over into the 7. Here we'll take a closer look at Tanner's game. 5-step approach at the top of the swing. The ball's close to his side, and looky here. That ball is left of his head. Look how close it is to his ankle. You can't do it any better than that. And you can't get a better result either. Oh boy, this time he's not going to like the results. The nearly impossible 2-8-10. It can be made, but it is so rarely done. You usually just go for the 2-8, take the count. But if you're going to make it, you got to bounce the 2 off the wall into the 10, knock the 10 into the 8. Oh, he's going with a backup ball. I didn't know he had that in his bag of tricks. That's a better way of doing it if you can throw a backup. But he gets a little too much of the 2-pin. You throw a backup at it, you can knock the 2 over into the 10, and the ball can still carry out the 8. That's how a left-hander would shoot it, although a left-hander would probably never leave it. There's a weak 10 for Jesse. This kid has not bowled in as many KCOs throughout the season. This is just his 5th tournament of the year. Of course, we told you about the win he had in November. He also finished 3rd at the March point tournament. Qualified 3rd and finished 3rd. And he had one other top 10 back in December at the adult youth. He finished 7th with his partner. "11 pins separating these two halfway through the match." It looked like Jesse gave that one a little extra juice. I mean, he threw it a little harder, and it didn't quite make it back. He almost had a 2-8-10, but the 10 went out, and he's left with just the 2-8, which sometimes can be a little more than you bargained for. Just got to make sure and hit flush on the front of the 2-pin or a little to the right of center. There you go. No problemo. Well, Tanner just planted that one right in the hole, and the pins had no choice but to get out of the way. Swings it out to about 6. Down they go. Boy, if he could run off a little string here, that would be dandy. There's the ripper that he's looking for. Watch it again. He'll catch the half pocket. When I say the half pocket, it's not quite high flush, but it sends that 5 ripping over to the 7, and he liked it. All right, Jesse. Jesse rips him apart as well. And he's got a little more entry angle to play with than Tanner. Tanner throws it a little straighter, a little lower rev rate. Jesse can really get it going. But see what's unusual about his game? He's got that ball out to the right of his head, and you see the big gap between the ball and his ankle. If he would bring his elbow in closer to his torso, he would shorten that gap between his ankle and the ball, and he'd actually get more power and for sure more accuracy. Pretty scary to think this guy has more power he could get, but it's there for the taking. Here's Jesse's footwork. 5-step approach, little skip step, throws it over the 4th arrow there out to about 10, and nearly had a stone 9, but it finally decided to go. Another light pocket hit. Tanner's got that light hit going for him today. Got his fingers way down below the equator on the bottom of the ball. That's where all the power is. Jesse's got that going too. That's why they can get away with those less than solid pocket hits. This time, Tanner just a little too light in the pocket. Leaves the 2. You see to our left on lanes 11 and 12, there's Grace Ryder. That is the Division III group. We will tell you how their stepladder played out when we get to the end of the show after we visit with our winner today, whoever that turns out to be. This match is all even. Jesse working on a double up in the 9th. Oh, the messenger just doesn't quite get the 10. So he's going to lose a pin in count, fall 1 pin behind. And now he better make this spare. This is no time for an unforced error. And he covers the 10 pin easily. So it's going to come down to who can perform in the 10th frame. Whatever Jesse does, Tanner will need to match it. There's a big strike. And you know, Jesse loved that one. Here it is again. Over about 17 at the arrows. That got out to about 6. Got that half pocket again and a wall shot. A strike here would be big. But he's wide with it. He could have forced Tanner to double in the 10th, but instead he leaves the 2-4, a fairly easy spare to make for a right-hander. I would expect him to take care of this with ease. And that would give him a 206. It would force Tanner to strike. There it is, 206. So here's the situation. Tanner needs strike, spare, or strike, strike to win the match. If he gets 9 on this ball, he'll need to strike to tie. 8's a loser. Boy, there's a big shot when he needed it, a strike. So now he needs a spare to win the match. Boy, he is not taking much time when he gets up there either. Strike or spare to win. Oh boy, the 2-4-5. And Jesse comes up to congratulate him, but Jesse, it's not over. Tanner has to make this. This spare is very choppable. But Tanner makes short work of it, and that spare is enough to give him a 1-pin victory. Oh, I loves me some close matches. Coming up, 2 Olathe Lanes East kids go at it. Tanner Haig and Eli Nathan. Don't you dare run off. Well, there's nothing quite like a tight match that comes down to the final ball. And that's what we got as Tanner Haig eked out a paper-thin victory over Jesse Holtkamp. Jesse bowled a clean game, but he could only manage one double, while Tanner actually had an open frame when he left that 2-8-10, but then he bounced back with a turkey, and it was just enough. Barely. But we've had good scoring all day, and it took averaging 227 just to make the top 5. So you know these players have been on a roll all day. Plus, unlike all other KCO tournaments, here at the KCO Invitational, they do oil the lanes again for the stepladder finals, so we could still see some high scores. But right now, it's Tanner Haig who survived a close encounter in match 1, and now moves on to match 2 to face Eli Nathan. Eli's making his first appearance on Prodigy today. He bowls league with us here at Olathe Lanes East, as does Tanner. So they're both very comfortable in this house. I've had my eye on Eli for a while now. He's been bowling better and better, so it comes as no surprise to me that he finally made the stepladder finals. In fact, if there's a surprise to me, it's that these two haven't made the stepladder more often than they have. Any questions? Eli Nathan with a strong strike for his opening toss. Get a load of this. Short little approach. Throws it over about 9 at the arrows. It's out to about 7 at the break point, and you can't bury it any deeper in the pocket than that. Tanner just a pinch high with that one. Pretty good shot, just a little too high to trip the 4. Both of these guys 17 years old. Tanner actually a little less than 2 months older than Eli. They've both bowled a 300. Tanner has an 822 to his credit. Eli's high series is 764. Yikes. That one snapped hard on the back end. Tanner lucky he didn't leave the 4-7-10, but the 10 went out. And he covers it by the hair on his chinny chin. All right. Eli Nathan works in the pro shop at Bolero Overland Park. Another strike. So far, so good. 4-step approach. We're going to have to take a look and see just exactly how far that approach is. He starts several feet in front of the front dots. Now, he's got no more than about a 9-foot approach. Oh, he was asking that one to lay back. He was afraid it was going to hit high, but it held. Watch it again. Watch his gesture telling it to stay right, stay right. Yep, there it is. But it's right where you wanted it. All right, 3 strikes to start for Eli. And that's more like what Tanner had in mind. After those 2 spares to start, he plants one in the pocket. Swings that thing out to about 4. And they are vaporized. He never got that one wide enough, but he got lucky. It went Brooklyn, and he got a strike out of it. It's okay. When you get away with them, you just thank the Lord and keep going. Boy, there's another solid strike. Eli says his best moment in bowling came when he got his first sanctioned 300 in the Tuesday League here at Olathe Lanes East. Here's the ball at the bottom of the swing. You see it's a little left of his head. That's where we like to see it, to bring it in close to the ankle. He's in perfect balance almost every time. Posts the shot. I like it. Looked like he pulled that one a little bit. But we are bowling on the house shot, so you've got a buildup of oil in the center of the lane. And it held pocket for him. Four-step approach. Threw that one over about 11. Straight up 11. Went over 11 at the break point and found the pocket. 5 in a row. And there's Tanner Haig with a turkey of his own. Tanner says his best moment in bowling was when he watched his brother bowl 300. How about that? He has a 300 of his own, but he lists his brother's 300 above his own. And there is another strike, and all of a sudden, this pair of lanes has really heated up. Over about 18 at the arrows, swings it out to 9. Can't do it any better. He's just got so few moving parts in his game. There's not a lot to go wrong. Watch Eli here. Such a short approach. He just swings it straight back, straight through. Maintains his balance. His head is real steady through the release. I like this guy's game. It just looks funny when he walks all the way up there to take this teeny tiny approach. Oh, he was begging for it to get up, and it did. He got around that one a little bit, and so it skidded a little farther before it took the break. But it just got enough of the head pin to get the wall shot. He's got a 7-bagger to start. And there's another strike for Tanner. What do you suppose is going through Tanner's mind right about now? This is the guy that had the 300 shot against him last year at the Prodigy TOC, Nolan Nash. Tanner mentioned it. He didn't want another one of those thrown at him. Gets the shaker. Look at all these X's on the score sheet. Here's a side-by-side. You couldn't ask for two more different approaches. But there they meet at the foul line. They're all synced up at the release. A little more ball speed for Tanner, but it all works out. Boom. The front 8 on the board for Eli Nathan. I've been asking this guy whenever I'd see him at one of these KCOs, when are you going to make the show? He said, I don't know, I'm trying. Well, here he is, making Good first impression, I'd say. Oh man, he's like a machine. He has the front nine. Let's take a look at three of them. See how similar they are. In the third, fifth, and ninth frames, here were his shots. They all look pretty much the same until he gets to the foul line. And we'll stack them on top of each other. We'll really be able to see how similar they are. You can't tell much difference at all till the ball is heading down the lane. That's how you throw 9 in a row. All right, Tanner. It ain't over yet. As long as he keeps throwing strikes, Tanner can get to 278 if he goes off the sheet. Here's the ball in the ninth frame. Splits the 5 and 6. Rips them apart. He's got to have this one to have any sort of reasonable chance. All right, that gets him into the 260s. And that forces Eli to show up in the 10th and at least mark. But now, if Tanner can strike in the 11th and 12th, he can still shoot 278. If he gets to 278, Eli will need to go 9 spare strike for 279. Oh, it's wide. Oh, it's way wide. So not only does he not strike in the 11th, but he short counts. That could prove decisive. He can finish with 264. It's going to be 263. Now imagine shooting 263 and it's not enough. Eli Nathan needs 8 pins on this ball to lock up the match. I don't think he's thinking about the match right now, but he's got it banked. Sorry, Tanner. It's happening again. Look at this beautiful shot. That's the front 10. That's the front 11. We've had 4 300 games bowled on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Logan Mathis had the first one. Rhett Ryman a year ago here at the KCO Invitational. Nolan Nash at the Prodigy TOC last year. And when we had our reunion special in Georgia back in December, Hunter Moffitt had the 4th. Will Eli Nathan be the 5th? He comes up high, leaves the 610. It's a 298. So close. And he gets booed by the peanut gallery. But hey, that is a new Prodigy Bowlers Tour record. High total score for 2 players in a single match. 298 and 263. That's 561. The previous record, 554, was held by Logan Mathis and Christian Manel, set in 2019. How about that? Eli Nathan, you're moving on to face Caden White next. Well, now that was thrilling. Eli Nathan certainly knows how to make a strong first impression. In his first match ever on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, all he does is throw a sweet little 298. You got a feel for Tanner Haig. Not only did he shoot 263 and get beat, But last year at the Prodigy TOC, he was on the receiving end of Nolan Nash's 300 game. So he's liable to start taking this personally. He's not eligible to make a return to the Prodigy TOC later this month, but his brother Tyler is. And you can bet Tanner will be rooting for him. But right now, it's Eli Nathan who has moved one step closer to a spot in the TOC by winning Match 2. And now he's advancing to Match 3 to face our 2 seed, Caden White. Now, you may be asking yourself, what's up with the bleach blonde hair, Caden? I know I was. So when I ran into him in Charlie's Diner, the snack bar here at Olathe Lanes East, I had to ask.
You have some splaining to do.
All this hair?
Yes.
Oh.
It's lovely.
It's really long right now. I need to get it cut. But
She is a close match.
So me and my high school buddies, we made it to state, and it was my idea, but we all decided to bleach or buzz, or both for state.
And how did you do at state?
We won.
This was the prize for winning? What happened to the losers?
This
Caden Ball, ladies and gentlemen.
place. Yeah. You know, I was the last one in the friend group to buzz my hair, but I got there. Late to never.
Yeah, I won't be buzzing my hair, but I did bleach it.
Show us why.
Well, the question that America wants an answer to, are you going to be bowling with your regular shot, or are we going to be seeing the backup today?
You'll be seeing my regular shot today.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
I know Caden has his blinders on and won't be thinking about the hair. He's the only two-time winner we have in Division I this season, and nobody can catch him. So he's looking to get his 3rd win of the season. But he'll first have to get past a red-hot Eli Nathan. Eli just a pinch high with that one, leaving the 4-pin. Takes the pressure off a perfect game, though. And now he can just settle into bowling. He hasn't shot at a spare in a while, but has no problem with the 4-pin. All right, Caden White. Blondie. This guy has had an unbelievable season. Begins the match with a strike. Here's what he's done at the KCO this year. He's got a couple of wins. He won last month in May and back in February. He's got a couple of seconds where he qualified second and finished second. He's got a 3rd place finish, a 5th, and an 8th. And that's the lowest finish of the year, the 8th place. And he's won a bunch of other tournaments out of state and around the area. This guy has just really racked up the titles this year. Throwing shots like that. And he makes it look pretty easy, I have to say. He keeps that ball in close to his body throughout the swing. Just a very compact swing. Not a lot to go wrong. Eli a little wide with that one. He may have made an adjustment compensating for that high hit in the first frame. And the right lane may not have been ready for that adjustment. Not sure, but he leaves the 2-5. Got to be careful with this one, playing it from the right side of the lane. And that's why I hate to see him shoot it from the right side of the lane. When you do, it opens up that gap between the 2 and the 5. I prefer to see them shoot the 2-5 combinations down the left side of the lane. It narrows that gap slightly, makes it a little less likely you'll chop it. There's no 100% way to avoid it, but play the odds. There's a good bounce back shot. Eli slaps out the 10 pin. Watch this one. Looked like he pulled it just a little bit, but it's set in the oil beautifully. Over about 10 or 11 at the arrows. Out to about 9 at the break point, and down they go. Gotta love it. Well, Caden covered lots of boards with that one, but may have run out of energy by the time it got to the pins. 6-pin just didn't want to do its job on the 10. So he'll have a single pin to shoot at. Caden doesn't miss many of these. Well, I tell you what, he used every last board. Well, he threw the winning ball, the final shot of his high school career to win state for his team. He lists that as his best moment in bowling. He will have even better moments in bowling, I'm sure. And they'll look something like that. Watch it again. Over about 20, out to about 5 or 6. He just pushes everything over toward the left side of the rack, and it all goes out. And now all of a sudden, Eli Nathan looks like he's zeroed back in. Tell you what, when you have such a short approach like that, you're going to minimize the number of things that can go wrong. Fewer moving parts, generally a better thing in bowling. Look at that. He's grabbing his chest like he wasn't sure about that one. I think he sent it just a little wider than he meant to. But it's a little drier out there, and it will catch the friction, and here it comes. 10 back. Eli's is going to make this a match. Look at Caden just rip them apart. He just makes it look so easy. Week after week, month after month, all he does is strike and make it look like it should have struck. Can push his lead out to 22 once again with another strike here in the 6th. Oh, I didn't think that was coming back. But he's right there in that swish zone again. Here's his footwork. Tiny little first step. Crossover with his second. He's got the hop. A slight slide. Look at that. That got out to about 4. And right in the swish zone. That's how you get them to go nowadays. That was a pretty good shot, but Eli not rewarded. Looked like he got caught in that in-between zone. He doesn't have the same rev rate or entry angle as Caden, so he's got to hit perfect. And look at this, he whiffs the 10-pin. Oh my, can't be doing that. And he takes no time to get up and throw the next one. Well, I guess if you've got a bad shot and you want to put it in the rear view mirror, you might as well get on with it. He does. And bounces back with a strike. Here he is, a ball not exactly under his head, a little to the left of that, right next to his ankle. He's really in ideal position. Just does it a little differently. And he's a one-hander with a very short approach. Oh my. Nearly a pocket 7-10. But the 10 goes out, and Caden is left with just the 7. That could have tightened this match up real quick. But you would have a news story if you had Caden missing a 7-pin. I don't remember the last time I saw him miss a single pin spare. Wants to be either a PBA pro or a physical therapy specialist when he grows up. Tell you what, he's going to need to give those pins physical therapy after what he does to them. He gives that one plenty of room and has no problem bringing it back. Wow. Eli finds the pocket. Cuts the lead to 24. Strike in the 9th will bring him to within 14, and we'll have a match heading into the 9th and 10th. Tell you what, there's no give up in this guy. I love to see that. Oh, he pulled it. He hated it, but he knew he got away with it. And now game on. Watch this. He's going to pull this one well left of that second arrow. It only gets to about 12 at the break point, but snaps out the 10-pin like a boss. And now the lead is just 14. Caden with a strike working. And he leaves the 10-pin. So the stage has been set for a very interesting finish. Eli Nathan with a possible 234. Caden with a spare here in the 9th and 3 strikes in the 10th can shoot 238. So Caden, moving to the 10th frame, needs a double and 7 to shut out Eli. Anything less than the first 2 strikes, and Eli can get up and win this match. Caden will take his time and carefully set his feet. He won't go until he's ready. Boy, that's a good one. But now he needs another one just like it. Throws that one over about 19. It goes out to about 7. And that 6-pin just catches the 10 as it whistles around the neck of it. But now here is the most important ball Caden has thrown all day. This strike would set him up to be able to shut out Eli. If he doesn't strike here, Eli can win the match. Boom! That is very impressive. Here it is again. See how compact his swing is? He keeps that ball right by his side. It never gets away from his body. I think that's the key to why Caden has been so good so consistently. He needs 7 pins on this ball to shut out Eli and head to the championship match. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I don't even think Eli is too disappointed in that. He knows how well he bowled today. He even gave himself a chance in this match when it looked like he was down and out. Tell you what, he will look back on this and be very proud of the way he bowled today. He should be anyway. Ten pin. So he'll be in the 220s. And that's nothing to sneeze at. .223. But Caden White's .238 is going to send Blondie onto the championship match. Bleached blonde hair and all. He will face Rhett Ryman next. After today's episode of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, we have just one more KCO telecast left this season. That'll be episode 193, the Division II stepladder finals from this same KCO Invitational. And believe me, that show will be every bit as thrilling as this one. You will not want to miss it. But then there's only one more show after that, and that'll be episode 194, the blockbuster doubleheader telecast from the season-ending Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions. At that event, in addition to crowning a TOC Champion of Champions, we'll also announce the recipient of the 2025 PBAA, that's Prodigy Bowlers Across America, Player of the Year Award. Our panel of judges will submit their votes, but if they're deadlocked, it could come down to your vote. So if you'd like to cast your ballot for PBAA Player of the Year, send an email and put the name of the player for whom you're voting in the subject line of the email and send it to vote@prodigybowlerstour.com. That's vote@prodigybowlerstour.com. We'll reveal our Player of the Year on episode 194 of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, which will drop in mid-July. Vote early and often for the player you think deserves to be named the PBAA Player of the Year. Put their name in the subject line of an email and send it to vote@prodigybowlerstour.com. Well, I'd say Eli Nathan has got to be pretty happy with his performance today. In his first time making the stepladder finals on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, he shot a 298 his first game and then gave one of our reigning players of the year a run for his money before finishing a strong third at the KCO Invitational, the highest-paying KCO tournament of the year. I mean, if you're going to make one stepladder all year at the KCO, this is the one to make. So congratulations to Eli Nathan on a solid showing, and we'll look forward to seeing him next season. But right now, it's Caden White, our one and only two-time winner in Division I at the KCO and on Prodigy this season, who has climbed into a familiar position, bowling for the title in the championship match. And isn't it fitting that the final KCO event of the season in Division I would come down to two of our three reigning PBAA Players of the Year? The third, of course, Nolan Nash, opted out of bowling youth events this season and decided to try his luck in adult tournaments. But Nolan is the two-time defending champion at this event, the KCO Invitational. But today, one of our other two reigning Players of the Year is going to take that crown. Last year at this event, Rhett Ryman ended Caden's day when he rolled only the second natural 300 game ever seen on Prodigy up to that point. But this season, he's been shut out from the winner's circle. This is Rhett's last chance to qualify for the upcoming Prodigy TOC, where he's the defending champion. Who will grab the biggest Smart Scholarship prize the KCO will award all season? We're about 20 minutes away from finding out. Rhett Ryman, being the higher qualifier, had the choice, and he has elected to lead off. And he leads off with a bang. Big time strike to start. Take another look at it. We haven't seen a lot of this guy this year on Prodigy for some reason. But yes, he can still throw strikes. Caden's going to have his hands full, I have a feeling. Oh! That's an owie. Stone 8. Like a punch in the gut. The only good news about this spare is that it's easy to convert. And Caden responds as I would have expected. So both players with a mark to begin this championship match. Well, Caden has already turned 18. Rhett doesn't turn 18 until after the new season starts on August 1st, so he technically would have another year of eligibility as a youth bowler, but I don't think he's going to use it. He could, I'm not sure. Big strike for Caden. Take another look at it. You can't throw him much more solid than this. They all disappear pretty much all at once. All right, Rhett. He is taking his sweet time today. Oh, that looked like it was going through the nose, but he trips the 4. And I know he loved that one. Watch the 2-pin. That's the third one from the left side. It's going to go to the left wall and come back and get the 4 from behind. And a double to start. That's what the really good players will do, is they will get you in a box as early as they possibly can and just keep the pressure on. Just never take your foot off the gas. But I tell you what, if anybody can catch Rhett, it's this guy, Caden White. All right, there's Rhett's footwork. Takes a big second step off to the left, 4-step approach. And now Caden up on the right lane. And there's that light shaker. Saws the 5 out. Watch this. He's going to hit kind of that light pocket area that I talk so much about. And he will send that 5 ripping over into the 7. The players to our left on 11 and 12, that is Division III. And we will tell you how their stepladder played out when we get to the end of the show after we visit with our winner here. And that strike evens the match. See it again. You can throw strikes at Caden. He will not slow down. That would have knocked down tree trunks. Little tree trunks, maybe, but not the big loblolly pines we had in Georgia, I guess. But all right, Rhett. Perfect through 3. He shot 300 at this event last year. Will he do it again? He did it against Caden last year, no less. But that was match 2, I believe, in the stepladder last year. There it is, the ball to the left of his head, inside between his head and his ankle. Ball right by his left ankle. This is textbook, just exactly the way we would tell you to do it. Is he going to throw another one today? We've never had somebody throw 2. Logan Mathis shot a second one, but the second one was a 9-pin no-tap. I don't count those. All right, well, the pressure is off of that. Comes in thin and leaves the 2-pin. But now this match gets interesting. Both of these players are capable of stringing long strings of strikes together, as we have seen before. Rhett, the best he can shoot now is 279. Caden can still shoot 290. There's a spare. I don't know if anybody's really thinking about 290 at this stage of the game. You're just trying to throw one strike. If there is a secret to tournament bowling, it is to stay in the moment and think about this one shot and nothing else when you're up. Oh. Well, that was a little surprising. I thought he was going to get the shaker, but the 10 forgot to get in on the action. So much for that 290. Caden covers the 10-pin. And now we've got a 10-pin match, with Rhett leading by 10 halfway through. And they will take their time now because they know what's at stake. There's actually some big prize money at this event. Caden just kind of cut that one short. Didn't get it out to the right like he would have liked. Leaves the 3-6. Now on a spare like this is where his backup ball might come in handy. But he throws it normal way and leaves the 3. My goodness. Did not see that coming. So Rhett now in the driver's seat with a 23-pin lead. Spare working. Up in the 6th. Finn nearly had the 2-8. The 8 went out. And he's left with just the 2-pin, an easy spare. Rhett says he wants to be an electrical engineer when he gets out of school. His best moment in bowling, winning state. I remember when he did that. That was a big deal. He won the individual title in his division. And shooting his first 300 in his freshman year. That's pretty good. But now we are 4 frames away from seeing who is going to take first prize and the winner's share of the scholarship money from the KCO. First place is over $1,200. They pay the same prize money in every division. $1,275 to be exact for first place. Second place, $782. Oh boy, he goes high and lucky to break up the 6, 9, 10 and leave just the 10. It looked for a moment there that he might have the 9, 10. That's no bargain. Ask Jonas Tucker. He had it in the roll-off in the championship match last month when we were in St. Joseph. But Rhett leaves just the 10. He'll go cross lane at it. Covers it. So Caden has some catching up to do. And not many frames to do it, but there is still room. Trails by 21, up in the 7th frame. Rhett has already bowled his 7th frame and posted a spare. This time Caden kicks out that 10-pin. And he sets himself up to put a little string of strikes up on the board. That would be big. Both of these players almost always in perfect balance at the line. You don't get to be one of the average leaders with bowlers of the caliber that we have at the KCO without having good balance and a steady head through release. Boom. Well, Caden giving himself a chance here. Take another look at that one. He's throwing it over about 19, 18. Gets it out to about 7 and parts the Red Sea at the end of the lane. Rhett's lead has been cut to 11 as he gets up in the 8th frame, working on a spare. And he plants that one deep in the pocket. Well, I know Rhett spent some time getting ready for this tournament. You can see it in his game. He just looks very sharp. We've seen him off and on this year on Prodigy, and he just never looked quite right. But he looks razor sharp today. This strike would push his lead to 21. And there it is. It seems like when he gets to the end of these matches and really needs one, he starts lofting it more. Here they are, side by side. Two very similar games, actually. Synced up at release. Rhett with a little more ball speed. Caden lets the ball do the work for him a little more. And there's one that he had to like. Rips him apart. This was almost a can opener. Used to see the can opener on the old wood lanes where the ball splits the 5 and the 6. Caden with a possible 248. Rhett can still get to 257. But I tell you what, if Caden can throw another one of those, he will force Rhett's hand in the 10th frame. Here it is again. I've talked about it a few times today. He keeps that ball right by his side throughout the swing. It doesn't move away from his torso much at all. Nice and compact, which leaves very little to go wrong. But now here's the biggest shot of the day for Caden White. This strike here, and good fill on the final ball. He can force Rhett to double in the 10th. Bingo. So that gets him into the 240s. Watch it again. Another light shaker in that half pocket, and he just blows up the left side of the rack. Okay, a strike would be huge here because count becomes very important in this situation. If he can strike here, he will, and he's taking a re-rack. He doesn't like the way they're setting. If he can throw a strike here in the 10th, he'll force Rhett to double. Figure it out. A strike and he would finish with 246. That would mean if Rhett went strike 9 spare, he'd finish with 246. Caden wants to get this strike to force Rhett to double. So there it is. And with that strike, Caden forces Rhett Ryman to get the first 2 strikes in the 10th to win. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if Rhett goes strike 9 spare, we have a tie. If he were to go strike 8, well, Caden would win. If Rhett doesn't strike on this ball, Caden wins. So Rhett must strike here. Need a little drama in your life? Boom! He seems nonplussed by it all, but I know his stomach is churning. See that big loft? He tends to do that in crunch time. All right, here's the situation. A strike here, he wins. If he gets 9, he'll have to make it to tie. If he gets 8 or less on this ball, Caden wins. Strike to win. Oh, and look at him part the Red Sea. He made some comment. I don't think he liked the rack, but he shot it anyway. See if we can tell here. See the tight 3-pin? That 1-3 was sitting a little closer together. I don't know that I would have shot that, but doesn't matter now. He has won the match and won the title at the KCO Invitational. That'll do it. He can throw this one in the moat. It'll be 247. That is a 256 to 246 victory for Rhett Ryman, who takes the KCO Invitational title. And it's another second-place finish at the Invitational for Caden White. Rhett Ryman, you waited until the very last KCO to finally win one this season. I think it might have been worth it. What do you say? So for the second year in a row, Caden White's bid for a championship at the KCO Invitational gets derailed at the hands of Rhett Ryman. Last year, Rhett did it with a 300 game. This time, a double in the 10th of the championship match did the trick. Caden bowled really well, firing a 246 in defeat, and he actually registered 9 strikes compared to Rhett's 8. But when you add it all up, it was Rhett Ryman who claimed the 2025 KCO Invitational title, 256 to 246. So Rhett finishes the season with 1 KCO title, 1 second, and a couple of fourths. Caden finishes the season with 2 KCO titles, 3 seconds, a third, and a fifth. Both of our reigning Players of the Year posted a solid season once again. But only one gets to claim the Division I title at the KCO Invitational, and that player is Rhett Ryman.
Oh, now here's a name we have seen in the winner's circle before, a face we've seen in the winner's circle before, but not this season. It's Rhett Ryman back where he belongs, with a pen in hand, ready to sign the coveted trophy pin. How did you do it today?
Well, I mean, it took a 242 average to get myself all the way here, and then I just barely beat him by 10 in this last match, so it was a rough day, that's for sure.
So where have you been all year?
You know, I kind of took a break from bowling since I'm not doing it in college, so it kind of just fell behind in what my priorities were in life with work and school. So I decided to, you know, pick up a few extra leagues and do a few extra days of practice, and decided to see what I could do.
Well, it's amazing what can happen when you make up your mind to do it.
That's right.
Yeah, well, this guy, ladies and gentlemen, one of our 3 reigning Players of the Year, and now he throws his hat in the ring. He's one of many one-time winners. We do have a two-time winner, and you beat him the one time you had a chance to on the stepladder finals here at the KCO, and you won the biggest KCO prize of the year. Congratulations. This is a good one to win.
Thank you.
All right, well, you know what this means. You also get to sign the coveted trophy pin.
All right.
And it means we will see you up here in 3 weeks. You are coming, right?
I am. I'll be here.
All right, excellent. You are the defending champion at the Prodigy TOC.
That's right.
And so there's the pin.
See if I can find
You
it.
actually took the pin last year and didn't give it away. How's it doing?
It's sitting on the shelf right next to my fish tank. It's doing great. I love looking at it every time I wake up in the morning. It's still sitting there.
I love the quote you gave last year. This is kind of something that would be kind of cool to keep. And so you did, and I liked that. I always said if the pin was so coveted, why does everybody give it away?
That's right.
So anyway, go ahead and sign the one for this year. You will be back to defend your crown in 3 weeks. That show will drop probably mid-July on YouTube for all our viewers who I know will be looking for it. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Rhett Ryman, back in the winner's circle, winning the KCO Invitational. Congratulations.
Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, the players to our left on lanes 11 and 12, that was the Division III group. Here's how their stepladder finals played out. In the opening match, the 5 seed, Grace Ryder, coming off her win last month in St. Joseph, which you saw on Prodigy, defeated the 4 seed, Joseph Weiss, 209 to 147. Then in match 2, Olivia Deere spoiled Grace's bid to run the stepladder. Olivia won that second match 220 to 183. In match 3, Olivia won a close one, getting past Ellie Blyenberg 171 to 157. But in the championship match, Olivia's attempt to win it all came up tantalizingly close, but it was tournament leader Kaylin Parkhurst who won a thriller 221 to 218. So congratulations to Kaylin Parkhurst for punching his ticket to the Prodigy TOC by capturing the Division III title today. On our next edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, we'll bring you the exciting championship round action in Division II at the KCO Invitational, and we'll tell you how the stepladders played out in Divisions 4 and 5. That'll be episode 193, which should drop on June 21st. Be on the lookout for it. It'll be our final KCO episode of the season. Then, the very next day on June 22nd, we'll be recording the championship round at the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions at Olathe Lanes East. Look for episode 194 to drop sometime in the middle of July. And remember, between now and then, you can vote for your choice of PBAA Player of the Year by putting the player's name in the subject line of an email and sending it to vote@prodigybowlerstour.com. We'll accept ballots until 6 p.m. Central Time on June 21st. If you'd like to bowl in a KCO next season, visit their website to get everything you need to know about the KCO. Go to www.kansascityopen.com. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you'll know whenever new content gets posted on our channel. Be sure to leave a comment down below. All we ask is that you not give away what happens by posting a spoiler. But all these things, liking the video, commenting, and even sharing it, it all helps us grow the channel, and we really appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to kick in a little and financially support the work that goes into producing Prodigy Bowlers Tour, and it does take around 40 hours to produce each episode, Become a Prodigy patron. Go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and follow the instructions to become a patron. For just $5 a month, you'll get early access to all our full-length episodes. And for just $10 a month, you not only get early access, but you also get your name in the show's closing credits as an executive producer. So become a Prodigy patron today. Also, to keep up with all things Prodigy, even during the off-season, join our Facebook group. From any page on Facebook, type the words Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit the return key. That'll take you to the page where you can submit a request to join the group. You'll be presented with 3 screening questions, and you must answer them or your request may be declined. Remember, we have kids in the group, and we don't want spam bots in the group, too. So answer the screening questions so we know you're a real human being, and you'll most likely be approved. Well, that's it for this edition of Prodigy. Remember, we'll be back with the Division II finals from the KCO Invitational. And let me tell you, that is one show you do not want to miss. In the meantime, this is Coach Randy reminding you to stay behind the foul line and keep kicking out the corner pins, not the foul lights and ball returns. And I'll talk to you on our next edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Until then, you know what to do. Go get your bowl on.